Alright guys, in this video I'm going to be creating waypoints that our AI vehicle is going to follow. But to do this, we're going to have to create a path parent game object. In order to do that, you go right to game object and then locate the easy traffic system, then go into 2 and then finally add path parent. This automatically creates the path parent game object for you. Another way of doing this is taking the mouse into the hierarchy window and then right click and then locate easy traffic system and then locate volume 2 and then add path parent. So now that we have successfully added the first path parent, you can go ahead and add the first waypoint. To do this, you go to hover the mouse right to the point where you want the first waypoint to be, and then you click on A. This should add the first node. In your scene. Also take note that before you can use this feature, the gizmos must be checked through, because if you disable the gizmos, your path 2 actually disappears. So make sure this gizmos is actually checked through so that the path settings can be available. So next I'm going to add the second waypoint. Before I add the second waypoint, I noticed that this road piece is actually in a straight line facing a particular axis, and I want my waypoints actually to follow that pattern, that straight line pattern. In order to make my waypoint follow this straight pattern without any bends, I'll have to figure out what axis this road is facing. In order to do that, we check for the x-axis first. So I'm going to change this free option here to x, so that this will align the next waypoint I will be adding to the x-axis. So when I click on A, actually you notice that this didn't add the waypoint at the point we were expected. That's because the road is facing the z-axis, not the x. So in order to get the node facing that point, you delete that node we created of recent by clicking on the subtract button, and then change the align settings to Z, and then hover the mouse to where you want that waypoints to be and click on A. So this automatically place the node in the right axis. So you keep doing that until you get to the junction there. So I'm going to keep adding waypoints by clicking on A, and finally A. I'm going to stop and then create another path parent game object. Now come right here and add the first waypoint. Now change the align to the Z axis, and I keep clicking on A, add my nodes. But one thing you notice is that once your path is no more selected, the arrow goes away. Well, this is because in the same manager, the use gizmos selected is checked through. So in order to not use the gizmos selected, you have to deselect the this check mark here, and then once you select that check mark, you can now view your path easily. So now I've successfully set this road piece. I'm going to move to the next road piece and then create another path parent game object, and then add the first node or waypoints rather, align this to the Z, and just keep adding waypoints. Until I get to the next junction there, create another path parent, and then add this here, align the Z axis. Also put the same to the final root piece to the Z axis. So we add a new path parent game object, then click on A, to add the first node, and change the align to Z. Good. Now that we have successfully aligned, successfully added waypoints to our road piece facing the Z axis. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this part to this part. In order to do that, I'm going to select this node, this part, and select this other node here, and then I'll click on J and then join. This actually creates a connector at that point, and you notice that it successfully has connected this part to this part. Just so when an AI vehicle gets to this point, then it updates this part and then changes and updates this part to the new connected part over there. And then we'll do this to the next part too. I'm going to select the node, and then I'm going to select the other node, and I'm going to click on J to join. That's good. I'll move to my next joint, which is here, and I'll select this node. I'll select the other node. I'll click on J, now join. Select this node, then select the other node, and then click on J to join. So, alright, now that we have successfully created rather a waypoint for the road facing the Z axis, I'm going to move directly to the X axis, and then I'm going to add a new path parent object, path parent game object, and then click on A to add the first part, and then I will click on X so that I can align my next waypoint in the X axis, just so that everything is in a straight line. Just keep on clicking on A till I get to my junction there. I'll add another part, drawing game object, and click on the A key, then align this to the X axis. Just keep on adding nodes easily. I'm going to do the same thing to this road piece. So game object is a traffic system to add path parent line to the X axis. Just adding by clicking on A. Remove next. I'm going to add waypoints. This road piece over there. Alright. So we're going to create another path parent game object. Then as usual, click on A, align this to the X. Then get the next line, the next lane, align to the X. Then finally, I'm going to add waypoints to that road piece. So we create a new path, create game object as usual, and then we're going to add the first node that point, then send to the X. Just keep clicking on A. And maybe for the last lane, add the final path parent game object. Click on A, align this to the X axis, then just click on A, while the mouse point where you want the waypoints to appear. So now I've successfully added waypoints to the road piece facing the X axis. I'm gonna connect my paths together by clicking on the first node and clicking on the second node, and then just go to J and then join. So this joins this path to that path. So I'm gonna join this path this part over here. So we want to select this part node and select the other part node. Then click on J and join. So we're going to observe that vehicle coming from this lane and also take a turn to this, and also take a turn and enter this path. So in order to do that, we can select this path node and select this path node and click on J and join. What this does is that once an AI vehicle gets to this point, it randomly will select what path to continue with, whether to continue on the straight path or take a turn to that path. You can also do the same thing for this path and this path. Now we join them together. You can also do the same thing for this point, this point. Join. And then we can move to the next. With the next junction, set this up to. So I'm gonna connect this path right here. I'm gonna connect this path to this path, and then click on J to join them together. So connect this path to this path over here, and then click on J to join them together. We'll select this path and select this path, and J to join. So I'm going to select this path and then this path, and finally join them together. Do that here too. J join. Finally, you can click on this point and that point, click on J to join. Again, take note, the really cool thing about the join feature is that you can join as many paths as you want to join. So if I wanted my AI vehicle to also take a path through that lane there, I'll just select this path and then select that path and then click on J and also join. So now when an AI vehicle gets to this point, it can either go straight or take a turn to the right or take a turn to the left. So now that we have successfully added waypoints that our AI vehicle actually follow. You can go back to the scene manager and then select the use gizmos and check gizmos, use gizmos selected. That will actually make the lines go away until you select the path. until you select the path parent. Just tidying up my hierarchy here, closing this password created. So this makes it easier to debug in case you want to check for part that is not really connected to the right path. You can select that path parent. Then you can see the individual arrows pointing to the direction that the AI vehicle will actually follow. Once it gets to this point, either it takes the right turn and continues on that path, or it goes straight and continues on that path, or it takes the left and continue on that path. You can check the other node parents by selecting it, checking that the arrows are facing the right direction. You can also select this path parent and observe that this is also facing the right direction. So once the vehicle gets here, either it goes right or it continues straight. Then if you also want the vehicle to go left, you can select this node and then select that node and then click on J to actually join. Good. Now that we have set up our waypoints, then we want to add next we want to add a spawn manager. A spawn manager that will actually spawn the AI vehicle. In your game. So you know how to do that. You go to game object, AC traffic system, colon 2, and then locate spawn and spawn manager. This adds a new spawn manager game object for you automatically. And then if you check the inspector window, you can see all these settings you can toy around with. So you can actually create spawn point manually, or you can choose auto generated. In this video I'll discuss more on the auto generated type of spawn point. The auto generated actually, what it does is that it will check each individual waypoint and then if that waypoint actually can be a spawn point, it then assigns a spawn point script or component to it automatically. So all you need to do is just click on the auto generated, change your spawn type to auto generated, then keep your spawn distance, and then the vehicle list here will be the amount of vehicle you want to spawn, the type of vehicle you want to spawn. So go right to prefabs and then drag and drop one of the AI vehicles into the vehicle slot. That should add that AI vehicle prefab to the list of vehicles. You can also drag another type of vehicle. Let's try to the list. You can keep adding different type of vehicles. There's no limit to the type of vehicles that you can add to the vehicle list. So spawn decay time you can leave that 5. Maximum allowed vehicle, I'm going to set that to 10 for now. Then distance and parts. I'm going to leave all the settings as they are. I'm going to change the start rotation to copy rotation, and then the spawn offset. I'm going to set this to 3.3 on the y-axis, so you don't have vehicles spawned inside the ground. You actually want to spawn them above the ground. So you're going to set your spawn offset to 3.3 in the y-axis. 3.3 height from the ground. So the cage size, you're going to want to increase that to 50, depending on how large your AI vehicle is. I recommend 50 because if the value is too small, you actually get a spawn overlap, vehicles spawning on top of each other. That would be very unrealistic. So it's best to increase the cage size to 50. Rather, let's try value 25. Use that to 25. Now that we have set up our spawn point, we actually want to create a multi-thread game object. Without the multi-thread game object, your AI vehicle will not be able to navigate correctly in your game. So you need the multi-thread game object. So in order to create the multi-thread game object, you have to go to game object and then easy traffic, go to, and then click on the multi-thread. This adds a new multi-thread game object. As you can see, the expector that's added an ES AI multi-thread script. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to have a player. You need a player game object. A player game object can either be the camera or an empty game object. The idea is to set a tag to player, but in this case I'm just going to drag. We go right to prefabs. There's a vehicle controller and prefabs. I'm going to drag in a vehicle 1 into the scene. And I'm going to change this to player. I'm going to change the tag to player. And then next I'm going to click on play. See if this actually spawns vehicle. Let's test it and see if it actually spawns vehicle. So I'm going to go right into the scene view, and then zoom out. If you've noticed, you see the AI vehicles being spawned. Now scene. being spawned randomly at different points based on based on the player's position, and you don't need to create a spawn point you don't need to create a spawn point manually. UTC actually does that for you automatically. Alright, now that we have set this up, now that we have set up our waypoints and we can actually get vehicles spawning around the game world, in the next video I'm going to talk about how we create traffic lights. Game in the game view. So thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video.